오늘은 2023년 3월 29일 수요일입니다. 파친고 페이지 4쪽 9째 줄부터 시작하겠습니다. At his father's instance, Huni learned to read and write Korean and Japanese from the village schoolmaster well enough to keep a boarding house larger and to do sums in his head so he couldn't be cheated at the market. When he knew how to do this, his parents pulled him out of school. As an adolescent, Huni walked nearly as well as a strong man, twice his age with two well-shaped legs. He was dexterous with his hands and could carry heavy loads, but he could not run or walk quickly. Both Huni and his father were known in the village for never picking up a cup of wine. The fisherman and his wife raised their surviving son, the neighborhood cripple, to be clever and diligent, because they did not know who would care for him after they died. If it were possible for a man and his wife to share one heart, Huni was this steady, beating organ. They had lost their other sons, the youngest to measles and the middle, good for nothing, one to a goring bull in a pointless accident. Except for school and the market, the old couple kept young Huni close by the house. And eventually, as a young man, Huni needed to stay home to help his parents. They could not bear to disappoint him, yet they loved him enough not to dote on him. The peasants knew that a spoiled son did more harm to a family than a dead one, and they kept themselves from indulging him too much. Other families in the land were not so fortunate as to have two such sensible parents, and as happens in countries being pillaged by rivals or nature, the weak, the elderly, widows and orphans were as desperate as ever on the colonized peninsula for any household that could feed one more. There were multitudes willing to work a full day for a bowl of barley rice. Page 5. In the spring of 1911, 2 weeks after Huni turned 28, the lad checked matchmaker from town called on his mother. Huni's mother led the matchmaker to the kitchen. They had to speak in low tones, since the boarders were sleeping in the front rooms. It was late morning, and the lodgers who'd fished through the evening had finished their hot suppers, washed up, and gone to bed. Huni's mother poured the matchmaker a cup of cold barley tea, but didn't break from her own work. Naturally, the mother guessed what the matchmaker wanted, but she couldn't fathom what to say. Huni had never asked his parents for a bride. It was unthinkable that a decent family would let their daughter marry someone with deformities. Since such things were inevitable in the next generation, she had never seen her son talk to a girl. Most village girls avoided the sight of him, and Huni would have known enough not to want something he could not have. This forbearance was something that any normal parents would have accepted about his life and what he was allowed to desire. The matchmaker's funny little face was puffy and pink. Black flinty eyes darted intelligently, and she was careful to say only nice things. The woman licked his lips as if she was thirsty. Huni's mother felt the woman observing her and every detail of the house, measuring over the size of the kitchen with her exciting eyes. The matchmaker, however, would have had great difficulty in reading. Huni's mother, a quiet woman who worked from waking until bed, doing what was needed for that day and the next. She rarely went to the market because there was no time for distracting chatter. She sent Huni for the shopping. While the matchmaker talked, Huni's mother's mouth remained unmoving and steady, much like the heavy pin table she was cutting her radishes on. The matchmaker brought it up first, so there was that unfortunate matter over his foot and broken lip. But Huni was clearly a good boy, educated and strong as a pair of oxen. She was blessed to have such a fine son. The matchmaker said. She deprecated her own children. Neither of her boys was dedicated to books or commerce, but they were not terrible boys. Her daughter married too early and lived too far away, all going marriages. The matchmaker supposed Parasons were lazy, not like Huni. After her speech, the matchmaker stared at the olive-skinned woman, whose face was immobile, casting about for any sign of interest. 오늘은 6쪽 4줄까지 읽었습니다.